seen it on It Is What It Is on Friday. I didn't watch the video, but they were saying, was defense harder today or in the 90s? And then, you know, TJ in the Discord was saying that Michael Jordan would only average 18 points today. It always today's NBA versus yesterday's NBA. And like I said, I lived it. You know, I'm an NBA historian. You know, one of my favorite basketball players, you know, just thinking historically, was Pete Maravich. I think he did a lot of the things. You know, he birthed a lot of the things as far as and one. You know, Wilt Chamberlain, I always say he's one of the greatest athletes in the world. And a lot of people, and we was having this debate. I was at a family event the other day. We was having this debate. And one thing you find out, a lot of people that have an opinion on sports, they don't know sports. I was telling them, like, because me and Adonis will talk about Wilt Chamberlain and the beef with Michael Jordan. A lot of people wasn't aware with that. You can look that up on YouTube. And they're not really aware of everything that happened in basketball. You know, they think, oh, today's athletes, the greatest athletes. Wilt Chamberlain, go look up everything he did. And it sounds like a folk here, outlifting Arnold Schwarzenegger. They said only one guy on the field looked better running routes than Jerry Rice. It was Wilt Chamberlain, 40 inch. And they said, well, you know, he didn't play against this guy. He didn't play against that guy. Look, check this out. We're talking about athletic ability. The only man that blocked Kareem skyhook. Think about that for a minute. We talking about athletic ability. It don't matter who you play against. We talking about 40-inch vertical at 7'1", hooping in Chuck Taylors, outlifting Arnold Schwarzenegger, running better routes than Jerry Rice, and looking better. Like he played after he retired. He played professional volleyball. These are facts. You can all check them out. Then you talking about guys like Bo Jackson. The Cowboys had a guy, I forget his name. He run a 4.19. Come on now, receiver that ran a 4.19. Bo ran a 4.13 is rumored. Deion ran 4.2. So we talking about like they just put athletes on the field today. And they didn't. That's not the case. And then you talking about the durability of these guys who play in the more physical era. Y'all wouldn't know that. He was like, TJ was like, well, Jokic is, Jokic is one actual really good center. When you go back 80s, 90s, Ewing, Mourning, Mutombo, you had guys like Rick Smits. You know, you had guys that shot the three like Bill Laimbeer and Sam Perkins and Terry Mills. You know what I'm saying? You had David Robinson. You had the Davis brothers. You know what I'm saying? You had Larry Grandmama. You know what? And one of the greatest players that nobody speak about, because people remember him after the knee injury, Antonio McDyess. Antonio McDyess is one of the best players in the NBA until he injured his knee. McDyess was nasty. Guys like Tom Chambers. You know, these are just guys thinking off the top of my head, bro. Brad Daughtry, Larry Nance Sr. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just talking guys off the top. Off the top of the dome, Chris Webber, Shaquille O'Neal. Like, Jordan had to go over 7-footers. Like I told him in the Discord, Alonzo Mourning would be the fucking MVP before his kidney injuries. Alonzo Mourning would be the MVP every year. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So when we talk about yesterday, well, they players were so much better. They didn't travel. And, you know, they was like, bro, they had to play real defense. When they call physical playoff basketball, regular season basketball was more physical than that. What LeBron said, we need at least a month rest to get ready for physical playoff basketball. That wasn't even the regular norm. It was physical all the time, bro. They had real rivalries, dog. They didn't carry. They didn't travel. They had real centers. They had real big men, from Dirk to KG, Vlade, Eldon Campbell, Kevin Wood. They had real centers. So you couldn't just go to the hole. You had to go over Mount Mutombo. And they will put you down. They will They will put your dick in the dirt. They will put you down and it's a common foul. You got flagrants for inadvertent elbows. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? There's no comparison. But when you having these conversations, these are people who don't know nothing about the NBA. They see it now. Today is a horrible product. In 1996, I wouldn't have mind paying $1,000 for League Pass. Deadlift Shrimp, Chris Mullins, Tim Hardaway the league was fantastic. And I think the league get a bad rap because Michael was so dominant that it wasn't nobody else. Kevin Johnson, I think he a mayor of Sacramento. Charles Barkley, like they disrespect. Barkley was that nigga. Derek Coleman was that nigga. Kenny Anderson, Mark Price. People forget about guys like Terrell Brandon was one of my favorite guards. Bobby Phillip, David Wesley, Muggsy Bogues, Rod Strickland. Make them jump like Rod Strickland. What do you say on Raekwon say on Triumphant? Make them jump like Rod Strickland. It was phenomenal talent throughout the league, bro. The league, top to bottom, was way more talented than it is today. These guys ain't talented, bro. I keep telling y'all that a lot of these guys getting off based off the softness of the game. They do nothing better than the guys. They not even more athletic because, let me put it to you this way. If they were more athletic, why is it so many players, they haven't played 10 games, why is it so many players already injured? If they're more athletic, why is there so many people already injured? Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic, LeBron is 40, but LeBron ain't even played a game yet. There's a couple other guys. Kobe White already injured. How they better? How they better? Karl Malone was the Iron Man. Stockton was the Iron Man. Michael was the Iron Man. They play 82. Come on now. How you more athletic and you ain't available? How can you say Kawhi better than any of those guys back in the day? And they doing load management, doing playoff games in his prime when he was in San Antonio. You talking about guys like Hakeem, Elijah, like, bro, like, if you seen how basketball is supposed to be played, and I get it. I know Jeff Teague was like, it was boring back in the day, playing inside out and all that type of stuff, and it's funner to play today, but it's trash. It's trash. It's trash. The way they play, they jack up threes, and think about it. They shooting so many threes, and it ain't really no presence at the rim. Ain't no really good rim defenders no more. And think about it. They can't put you on your ass. I ain't seen this elastic book thing in a minute. It was a truck. They put you on your ass, and it's a common foul. Hard. And they call it common foul. It wasn't no, oh, you out flag. This soft today, bro. It was no boys allowed. Today, nothing but ass. Nothing but ass. That's what it started for. Nothing but ass. That's what the NBA stand for. But y'all see it today. Oh, it's a great product. It's not. Us that grew up on the Kobe's and the Mitch Richmonds and the, you know what I'm saying? We grew up on Run TMC and we grew up on that, bro. Like, dog. The Jailblazers. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on, man, bro, we used to love to watch the NBA. And I'm going to tell you how dominant it was, bro. Like, the NFL and WWE couldn't touch it on Jordan era. That's why when you talking about Jordan, LeBron, Magic, and Bird era, like, really, LeBron is behind all of them because when Magic and Larry took the NBA from being on tape delay, it wasn't even the finals, the finals was on tape delay, bro. They syndicated the NBA across the nation. Michael Jordan took it international. LeBron on his watch, he destroyed the NBA. LeBron destroyed, and it's more to do with AAU, but LeBron his era was the destruction of the NBA. Load management, which was created by San Antonio, he adopted it. They travel all the time. Fly. A regular foul is a flagrant. They can be thrown out. There's no more centers in the league. Everybody wanted to be Dirk and Kevin Garnett. Nobody wanted to defend the rim. Yo, big fella at the rim, That gives me an advantage. That's why I don't understand the way they play the game. Why are you shooting all these threes and it's not Elijah at the rim? There's no fear that Kevin Willis can drop the elbow on you and knock you out the game. He'd be banned from the game for life. Why not attack the rim? They play dumb. Because once you attack the rim and you get downhill, right? Once you attack the rim and you get downhill, all it's gonna do is collapse the defense and then you can just kick. Like they're shooting threes in the center is at the 3-point line. Why not attack the rim? There's nobody defending the rim. And you're most likely going to get to the foul line and get a 3-point play if you can finish. The way they play, once you know how basketball is supposed to look like, it's not an evolution, it's a de-evolution. Like it's not even watchable. And it's hilarious, bro. But then again, you have a lot of people who historically don't know. You know how many people don't know Hakeem Olajuwon and Hakeem, I would say had the best season, right? I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna say Hakeem probably had the best season ever, but Michael Jordan was at 86, I think it was. One of the greatest seasons ever. He won MVP. He won NBA All-Star MVP. He was the Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, all NBA first team, all NBA first team defense, all in the same season. And he was a slam dunk champion. All in one season. Hakeem Olajuwon, I think he was MVP. I could be wrong about this. Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. You know what I'm saying? First team all NBA, first team all in 1 year. And you're like, well, why do you give Hakeem Olajuwon the nod over Michael? Because he was finals MVP. Michael didn't win the finals that year. That's why I give Hakeem Olajuwon, that's why I give him, that's why I gave him the one up. But they did that in one season. I was telling somebody that, they was like, he really did that? Yeah, y'all be arguing and be saying blanket statements. Do your history, bro. When I talk about I know boxing history. Like I might not be the most informative, but I know it. But NBA history, dog, most of the time I know it like the back of my fucking hand. I know the NBA history. Like I say, I know NBA, boxing, NFL history. And really, I know I watch hockey. A lot of people don't know that. I watch hockey. So a lot of people don't be really knowing this. Like I'm not like I watch shit that y'all and know shit. Like I watch tennis. I grew up watching tennis. Grew up watching golf. Most people don't know. I played golf. I was a child golfer, a teenage golfer. So a lot of the stuff, only thing I didn't play was hockey. But hey, check out the NBA Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere there. Join the Patreon, Facebook. We doing great work over there. Instagram, the whole 9. Peace.